Hello student, in this class we learn shape creation. So I right click on the rectangle tool and click on this small arrow to pull out this tool from the group and place on the top left side. Now I select rectangle tool and click and drag on artboard. A rectangle is created with the white fill color and black outline. Rectangle tool is still selected. If by mistake you click on the artboard, a flyout will display, and if you click on the OK button, a rectangle is created with the defined width and height values. If you want to exit from the rectangle tool, click on the selection tool or keyboard shortcut is V. Rectangle is still selected. If you want to delete this, press delete key from the keyboard. Rectangle is deleted. Now I select a rectangle tool again, and this time I create a rectangle with the shift key. So first press shift key, then click and drag like this. If you press shift key first and then click and drag, it create a square like this. If you create a rectangle without shift key, it create a rectangle like this, and by using shift key it create a square like this. In this creation method, starting point is freeze and opposite direction point is scale to increase area. But if you press shift and alt both key, then start creation a rectangle. So it always create a square from the center like this. I create again, press shift and alt key, then click and drag. So it's create a square from the center like this. Now I create a rectangle without pressing any key. So first I click on a point and then click and drag. But I want to move this rectangle in the right side, but it's not possible. If I click and drag, rectangle size is increased, but I am not able to shift this point to another point. But you can do this by pressing spacebar. If I press spacebar, then I move this from a point to another point like this. Now I exit from the rectangle tool and select all the rectangles and then delete. Now I choose rounded rectangle tool. Creation method is same. Click and drag to create a rounded rectangle. If you create this shape by pressing shift key, so it's create a rounded square like this, and by using alt and shift key it grow from the center like this. But if you create a rectangle or rounded rectangle by using alt key, it grow from the center, but it's a free form, so you can create a square or a rectangle like this. Now I select ellipse tool. When you click and drag, it create a oval. But if you want to create a perfect circle, so first press shift key, then click and drag, so it's always create a perfect circle. But if you want to create this circle from the center, press shift and alt key, so it's create from the center like this. Now I select all these shapes and delete. Next tool is polygon tool. When you click and drag, a pentagon is created. But when you click and drag and then press shift key, it aligns from the horizontal. If you want to create a polygon with the 5 or 7 side, click and drag, then press up or down arrow key to increase or decrease size like this. Then release your mouse, so it will create it. When you click and drag and then press shift key to align from the horizontal line. Polygon tool is still active. If you click on the artboard, a polygon flyout will display, and you can change the radius from here or side also like this. When you press on the OK button, a polygon is created with the defined parameters. Now I select all these shapes and delete again. Now I select star tool. When you click and drag, a star is created, and when you click and drag then press shift key, it aligns from the horizontal line like this. Now I create a star again and press shift key to align from the horizontal, but this time I press alt key and then release. By using alt key, star shape is little bit different. You can clearly identify this. Now I create a star again, but this time I want to increase the number of points. So I use up or down arrow key to increase points like this. And if you want to change the length of point, press Ctrl key and then click and drag, so the raised length is increased like this. Okay. Last tool is flare tool. Click to activate this. When you click on the artboard, a flyout will display, and in this flyout you can change the parameter. When you click on the OK button, a lens flare is created. Now I exit from the lens flare tool. We create an interesting exercise by using lens flare, but this time I leave this as it is. Now we meet in the next class and explore more parameters of these shapes. If you like this tutorial, please subscribe my channel and like this video.